Good evening, everyone, and welcome here for round 9 at Talladega as we get set and ready for one of the most wild races on the Sony Cup Series schedule. No restrictor plates at Talladega. Wow, we're returning to that. 2018, this race had no restrictor plates, and the series decided for the 2019 season, when we returned for a one race only in 2019, that we put the restrictor plates back on for the 2019 race. However, the series has put the restrictor plates off the race cars again, and now we have the same package as we have at Daytona as we do here at Talladega. Now, Daytona and Talladega, yes, they are very long, big speedways, but this track is not as rough and as abrasive. These cars are liable to get up to as much as 240 miles an hour heading off into these corners, but they cannot take these corners going 240 miles an hour. So these cars will have to lift going in the corners, and these drivers know it. They're going to be living on the edge this afternoon, and they know when they head off in these corners with cars all around them that they're going to have to lift, and some drivers are going to have to take it further than the others. Some drivers are going to have to try and hold their gas pedal to the floor longer than others. It's going to be all about bravery this afternoon. These drivers, it's going to be a throwback to the ages when we have cars going 250 plus miles an hour. We have not hit that 250 mark in quite some time since we raced at Minnesota, Zenjoltis. Some really high-speed tracks. These drivers are going to have to get on the wheel this afternoon. Dylan Young, Jeff James is on the front row. Coming to this race, Jake Bassinger is sitting this one out. He's got a concussion from the accident at Richmond. Ian Dutta is back in the car, season 12 champion. In the 97, he'll start 5th this afternoon. Let's get ready for one of the most craziest races on the schedule here at Talladega. After watching practice for this race, this one could be exciting and could be nail-biting for every team on the pit wall. As we come down, speeds are going to be so high, higher than we're used to seeing them in the modern era. But we are racing here at Talladega today, 56 laps of racing. Now, like we documented early on at the start of pre-race headlines, this race is going to be a nail-biter. Already Dylan Young had to get out of gas off turn 2. He loses the lead there to Jeffrey Lynn, and these cars are going to be bobbling down the straightaway there. You see everyone weaving and bobbling down the back straightaway, trying to cut the draft there and keep anyone from having the momentum to slingshot past them. You will see the slingshot be a big deal today. Many of the drivers on the grid thought that the draft was going to be a huge factor. It always is, but it's going to be even more of a factor as you see Dylan Young draft up to Jeffrey Lynn, who had a big early lead. Young is back to the point. But here comes Chris Dodd in the 44, the 2019 Daytona 500 champion. There he is, digging on the inside. Dodd has had back-to-back last place finishes there in his 44 at the Hot Wheels Dodge, and he is going to the lead. He's going to try and cut Dylan Young off. A big slide up the racetrack, and Dylan Young had to get out of the gas. And Bobby Jones for Hero Motorsports has taken the lead. And already some drivers are starting to fall back. You see a second pack developing further back, led by Eric Burton, Vance Codwell, Dylan Schwellenberg. These guys are kind of hanging in the back so far. These guys scrapping at the front. It is still Jones, Jeffrey Lynn, Kyle Collins, and Jones tries to shut the door on Jeffrey Lynn further back. Everyone's just scrambling for position right now. It is early on. These tires can hold the grip in the corners. Look at Collins driving to the outside. Jeffrey Lynn on the inside, trying to get a run on Bobby Jones. Jones kind of running the middle groove. And Jones slams the door on Jeffrey Lynn. Jones wanted to go up high on Kyle Collins, but here comes Collins round the outside, and Collins takes the lead, but the caution flag is out. Crash in the back of the second pack. Dylan Schwellenberg and teammate Eric Burton tangled. Schwellenberg up and over down to turn 3 and 4, and luckily everyone got on the brake. Zayden Davidson, Carson Scott, Jack Hallett got a piece of that as well. But looks as though the 88 of Dylan Schwellenberg is going to fall out of the race, and Dylan Schwellenberg his season has been going downhill ever since Yamp Motorsports lost their team owner of Bryce Ballard commanding the ship. And problems for another Yamp Motorsports driver, Dylan Young, the pole sitter for this race, is gone out of the race. So 3 Yamp Motorsports cars have fallen out. And as we come back to the restart, look at this. Dejan Weeks, Luke Martin, Ryan Acosta, Eric DeMax, James Orfox, Ryan Griffin, Ian Dutta, all these drivers in the back, they pitted. So this is going to be an interesting strategy. They went to the tail end of the field. Kyle Collins leads over Bobby Jones, Chris Dodd, Jeffrey Lynn. Man, these cars are so fast entering the corner. These guys having to lift. It's making it really a handling race. How good of a car do you have here at Talladega? Can it handle through the corner with the speeds it's carrying? Look at on the bottom, Vince Freeze in the 12 car. He's marching his way to the front. Bobby Jones trying to take the lead back from Jeff James. Looks as though he will do so. There's Caleb Hoffman in the 20 Mountain Dew Toyota. He's trying to get in the lead as well. Jones gonna slam the door on him. Up high, Jeff James trying to mount a charge. He's got Vince Freeze for company. James goes up in front of Kyle Collins. Collins has so far shown he's a fast race car, but Bobby Jones, he's also got a good piece for Hero Motorsports. Further back, how about the 15 car? He bottomed out though. That's Samuel England. He was the fastest in practice for this race. Jeff James round the outside. There's some grip to be had there on the outside of the trioval. Jeff James takes the point. But here comes Caleb Hoffman. Hoffman on the inside, bringing Richard Johnson with him. Zayden Davidson has returned to the racetrack. Jeffrey Lynn is on the apron. Lynn on the apron trying to return to the track. Matthew Rodriguez, what smart driving for the 9 driver. He led the 76 back on the racetrack. However, up front, Hoffman still your race leader. Man, Turner slammed the door on Vince Freeze. Freeze having a heck of a run. Jones round the outside. There is definitely great grip there on the high side, and Jones using that advantage on the 98 there around the outside of Johnson, but Johnson to the inside of Jeff James. Gonna take that position away, move up to second. Oh, but the lap car, Zayden Davidson throwing some big blocks on Caleb Hoffman. That's allowing the 34 Jeff James to get neck and neck with Caleb Hoffman. Hoffman, oh! Richard Johnson and Bobby Jones nearly made contact down in turn 3. Lucky to save it there. Here it is again, just heading off into turn 3. Richard Johnson cuts up in front of Bobby Jones. Wow, smart driving by Bobby Jones. Not really the driving you would expect from a 2-time champion. That was pretty reckless, almost disaster. But Caleb Hoffman trying to work around the lap car. Hoffman in the Rodriguez Racing Camry. He has been very fast in the early going, showing that this could be his day. Last time out on the super speedway, it was not a good race. Ended up getting disqualified and suspended from the series for a race. Hoffman trying to rebound, gets around Davidson, and hangs onto the lead. Further back, it is Jesse Turner, Matthew Rodriguez, Richard Johnson. All these cars, Collins, Freeze, Lynn, Dodd, England. How about that? Dom Capps and Brandon Crasta. A lot of drivers see this as an opportunity for them today to try and have a great day and possibly be in the mix of it for the win this afternoon. Then it's Sanford, Griffin, Curtis. This whole pack of cars comes flying by. But one driver that is very far back right now, our championship leader, Luke Martin. He is very far back. Possibly a strategy by Martin maybe to stay back here. Battle for second place. Matthew Rodriguez, the inside of Jeff James. Jesse Turner is there as well. Zayden Davidson really checks up in the 13 car. And here comes Turner round the outside of all of them. He's going to take second place away and get a heck of a run here on Caleb Hoffman. Try and take him on the outside. Hoffman going to throw the block on him. Here comes Matthew Rodriguez. Rodriguez in the 9's got a big run. Here he comes. They're going to go 3 wide for the race lead down the back straightaway. But Rodriguez, he's got the momentum there in the Pepsi Toyota. And he looks like he's going to take the race lead. Jeff James in the 34. Bobby Jones in the 98. They're trying to climb their way back to the front. Jones had to lift a whole lot there, you see. But man, these cars are flying around this racetrack. Is that the 09? Turner ducks in behind the 9 car, but the 09 of Brandon Cresta for Roush Family Racing. This team with Sean Perkins in the Daytona 500 ran at the front midway through the race, and Cresta, his first Sony Cup Series start of the season, ran a couple races subbing for Zachary Fitzwater. He is coming up to 3rd place. Brandon Cresta having a heck of a run right now, trying to cut the draft on Jesse Turner. But Rodriguez has taken the lead from Caleb Huffman. They have crashed. The Rodriguez racing cars wrecked each other in the lead. And Rodriguez trying to get to pit road. Richard Johnson's got some damage. He could have crossed him, but Matthew Rodriguez, this could be a day ender. He is smoking coming to pit road, and that's going to be a day ender for the boss man, Matthew Rodriguez. He is out. The leader, the green, is still out. Brandon Cresta took the lead. How about this for Cresta? Unbelievable. He's got a chance to win this race this afternoon. This team has got to be thinking about positioning themselves later in the race. Jesse Turner's taking the lead. Bobby Jones, Jeff James. James and Jones have good race cars. They could be a contender to win this afternoon. Caleb Hoffman's got damage in the 20 car from that incident with Rodriguez. He is dropped to 5th. Here's what happened. Rodriguez had taken the race lead, and he checked up so much. He had checked up a whole lot, and it looked like Hoffman didn't expect Rodriguez to lift as much as he did, and lucky we didn't have a big crash in the back. Well, looking at the lead again, Brandon Cresta with the slingshot on Jesse Turner. Brandon Cresta for Roush Family Racing. This is a heck of a run this afternoon for them. Cresta has taken the lead. Here comes James and Jones trying to pass the 17 of Jesse Turner. They're getting a run on Cresta here. Where are they going to go? Turner may have the advantage to try and take the race lead back. It's a front four breakaway here at Talladega right now. Further back, you see, Chris Dodd has worked his way up to 5th. Dejon Weeks, Hayden Klein, Zachary Fitzwater, Charles Sanford, Ian Dutta. Then it is 43 of Griffin with Lamas, Rogers, Rowe. This really is anyone's race here at Talladega, but you can just see further back, there is so many cars in the mix of this to make a run towards the front. Up front, though, we're focusing at the lead. Brandon Cresta is still out front. Bobby Jones trying to take that away from him. Jeff James is there as well. 3 Fords up here battling for the lead. Looks like Jesse Turner really bobbled or something because he has lost a lot of momentum. Turner has hit the wall. Cresta looking to try and take the race lead back from Jesse Turner. Cresta trying to get the inside of Turner. Contact! Cresta got in the bumper of him, and Turner bangs off the wall. And that's going to be significant damage there. Cresta in the 09 tries to block Bobby Jones. And there's Jeff James too, but Turner, that's going to be significant damage for him in the 17. Bobby Jones is able to get the inside of Brandon Cresta to take the race lead, but Jeff James going to go right back to the point, go right by both of them. And the 34 and the 98, oh man, that 09 is as well. That 09 of Brandon Cresta is hooked up. And what a run by these 3 drivers right now. But don't look back now. Here comes Cody Lamas with a big shot from Jesse Turner. Hayden Klein's there too. Here comes Lamas. Lamas got a big run here for 3rd. Going to the inside of Bobby Jones. They're 3 wide. That contact in the outside wall by Turner not affecting him right now. And here comes Lamas through the middle, threading the needle. And there goes Cody Lamas. He had a great run at Richmond this past weekend. And Cody Lamas up to 2nd place. But he's got a big run. He's wanting to try and take it to the lead. And Cody Lamas neck and neck with the 34. Down the back straightaway, and Cody Lamas, 2 weeks in a row, is going to lead a Sony Cup Series race. Oh, contact! Cody Lamas and Jeff James! Lamas and James have crashed for the lead. And Cody Lamas is to pit road. Cody Lamas could be out of it, but he's got a lot of damage. Caution flag. Is it out? Yes, it is. Caution flag is out. 27 of Sean Harple is on pit road, but Lamas, a hard hit to the outside wall from the lead. This incident right here is not what brought out the yellow, but very similar to the Rodriguez Racing cars. Cody Lamas and Jeff James made contact, and very similar to the 9 and the 20, and Cody Lamas is going to fall out of the race. However, that was not what brought out the yellow flag. This is what brought out the yellow flag. Down the back straightaway, somebody got into somebody, but James Shelley went for a ride down the back straightaway. James Shelley comes in this race, 3rd in the championship, and he goes for a whale of a ride down the back straightaway, and Sean Harple just comes along and nails him. Gonna get a replay of it. Shelley took a big ride down the back straightaway, and here it is. Somebody, I'm not even still sure who did it, but Collins and Shelley made contact. Vance Caldwell, Vince Freeze, Samuel England, and Dom Capps did a great job to miss that. And here comes Sean Harple to give Shelley a big old hit in the driver door. That was a pretty nasty hit for the driver's door, but Shelley is going to go out of the race. Going to give it a slow-mo because this was a wild accident. Off of turn 4, or off turn 2, you can see up ahead, the 43 got really sideways up ahead with Dejon Weeks. They made contact, but you can see, wow, what in the world was Fitzwater doing cut in front of? Is that the Red Bull of Sanford? Curtis had to go under the yellow line, but you see, carnage happened because Fitzwater hit the wall, cut across the racetrack, and it really stalled the momentum of everybody. On board with Vance Caldwell. Riding on board with James Shelley. Well, this race has been crazy from the get-go, and it's still very crazy. Hayden Klein is the leader as we close in on nearly halfway. Hayden Klein, Bobby Jones, Brandon Grasta, Alexander Rowe, Zach Rogers, Eric DeMax, John Arndt, Scott Roush, Ryan Acosta, James Sorfox, the top 10 as we're back and underway as these guys try and make do with Zayden Davidson. Davidson in the middle of the road as they try and snake down the back straightaway like they have all day as they start to try and cut the trap. Bradley Bishop Jr. is leading the second pack in the 26, but up front's where it matters, and the 08's out front, but here comes the 09, the 05. The zero numbers really having a heyday here at the front, and Brandon Grasta, he has been phenomenal in this race. Grasta trying to take the lead from Hayden Klein, Season 4 champion, having a brilliant run in 2020. He goes back to the point. Klein tries to throw a block on Bobby Jones. Jones has been one of the best cars all day, and Jones in the hunt for his first Sony Cup Series win. Same as Grasta, same as Roush, same as Rowe, same as Rogers. Many drivers up here have never, ever won a Sony Cup Series race, and some drivers have never won an FBRL event ever. Bobby Jones leads the pack, but Eric DeMax, he has came out of the picture of nowhere, absolutely nowhere, and the 10 car, the Daytona 500 champion, don't let him be denied at all. DeMax comes in this race second in the championship, and he's neck and neck with the 98 car. What phenomenal racing these drivers have put on for this afternoon. Jones and DeMax into turn 3. DeMax gonna try and take it away, but Jones keeps his foot in it. And here comes hometown hero right here, Scott Roush of the 31 car for CM Racing, pushing his way up to second place. I tell you, many of these races this year have been insane. Jeffrey Lynn has hoped to build on the momentum of last week's win at Richmond to try and come into this race and get another victory. Hayden Klein and Grasta nearly wrecked each other on the apron. Klein threw a block on Grasta. It nearly ended up being disastrous, and that block by Jones could be disastrous later on if they continue to do that. They have been super close and on the edge of wrecking in turn 3 by throwing them blocks. But Jeffrey Lynn goes to the lead, and John Arndt, we haven't even talked about him all day. Same with Ryan Acosta. He is up here in the lead pack. And here he comes, John Arndt, looking for his first Sony Cup Series victory, along with many drivers up here contesting the victory today. And look at some other drivers deep in the pack that I can see. Julio Caesar's there as well. Jack Halleck was involved in the first accident of the day. He's clawing his way back to the front. Here comes Ryan Acosta. He was so close to winning at Richmond. He wants to get revenge on a loss out there at Richmond. He wants to go back to victory lane. He came so close in a photo finish with Jeffrey Lynn. He's back out front and trying to get Allen Family Racing Team another victory. But here comes the Rodriguez Racing 10 car of Eric DeMax, who has been equally as strong this season. And he goes to the point. Jeffrey Lynn sneaks past for second. The underdogs continuing to play a phenomenal run here at Talladega. Brandon Carrasta. This guy has been super impressive to me today, and he could be one to watch in a sleeper. Same with Hayden Klein. It seems as though if you have a car that can handle the best here today, that's all that matters. You may not need the fastest car to win this race this afternoon, but you may need the best handling one. The one that can hold it as fast as it can go through the corners. And Ryan Acosta's out front with Art DeMax, Jones, and Lynn, the top 5. Julio Caesar, last year's winner in the Hardee's National Series at Daytona. He knows how to get around here on the super speedways, bringing Monster Energy Racing to the front. But side by side for the lead, Jones and Acosta. Jones is going to surge out ahead if Jones can just keep himself out of trouble. Him and Jeff James have pretty fast race cars until Jeff James got into his accident. Jones can't afford to do what Jeff James did earlier. He needs to stay out of trouble and keep his car in one piece. Jeffrey Lynn, door to door, trying to go back-to-back winning at Richmond here at Talladega. The blocks these guys have put on today have been incredible. Lynn cutting off Bobby Jones there, a prime example. Look at Jones having a lift there. The handling is going away on that 98 car. Same as Ryan Acosta. Up front, the front two trying to break away. Jeffrey Lynn and Eric DeMax. Horizon Group's chassis has proved to be pretty reliable, but their engines have been one that has been lacked. Now, remember, Horizon Group won with Matt DeLeo. Lynn with his blocks. Lynn with his blocks have been incredible this afternoon, and DeMax may just give him the bumper, but this would be a terrible place to do it. 240 miles an hour in some places. Dodd with some big blocks on his teammate. Chris Dodd seizes an opportunity to win a Sony Cup Series race, throwing another block on his teammate. Acosta's about had enough of it to the inside of him. Nearly contact there. Brandon Carrasta and Zachary Fitzwater. Fitzwater deemed possibly reckless driving earlier. He is coming to the front as well. So much is going on. Some insane racing here at Talladega. Anyone's game. It is really anybody's game this afternoon. The drop-off in the corners. These guys can be going 240 into the corners, but then drop off to about 210 through the corners. And if you can keep your speed up in the corners, it may balance yourself out. And that's exactly what it's doing for some drivers. Lynn is it looks like he's worn his tires off as he's getting shuffled back. DeMax leads, but possibly not for long. He defends the inside, but cuts off Fitzwater. Nearly contact there. And here comes John Hart in the CM Racing Chevy. Gonna go to the point. And there is Ryan Acosta trying to snake his way to the inside, but is quickly cut off by the 3 driver. Round the outside, Ryan Acosta has taken the lead, but as soon as you can take the lead, it can possibly vanish. And off the corner, John Hart to the inside of him, and here comes Chris Dodd. He's got company of Alexander Rowe there. 3x3 down the back straightaway. Chris Dodd trying to take the lead away. He's on the very inside, gonna have to lift there. Art, Acosta, Dodd, Fitzwater, DeMax, Rowe, and Jones racing for the lead. Top 7 are under a blanket right now. Dodd trying to get the advantage. Art trying to pinch him down there, but around the outside, Ryan Acosta back to the point again. But not for long. As soon as that happens, Chris Dodd, the 2019 Daytona 500 champions, in the lead. Dodd trying to figure out who to block. Fitzwater, Art, maybe it's Acosta. Throws the block on Acosta. Contact! Teammates again! In the outside wall. Not that hard of a contact, but that might be enough to make them have to come down pit road. Chris Dodd with a faulty judgment throws a block on his teammate, and this time they both go in the outside wall, and Allen Family Racing Team might be out of contention. And there it is. the 45, the 44 on pit road in the closing laps. And this is going to take them out of the hunt for the victory. Up front with about 18 laps to go, John Arndt leads over Zachary Fitzwater, Alexander Rowe, Eric DeMax, Jeffrey Lynn, Bobby Jones. And then you have Scott Roush, Dejon Weeks, Brandon Cresta, and Hayden Klein, the top 10. Looking a little outside the top 10, Luke Martin, the championship leader, just outside of it. It's been a miserable day for him, but he is trying to stay out of trouble. And this is a perfect day for him, really, right now, to stay out of trouble and be there near the end, trying to get the most points as possible. James Sorfox, Zach Rogers, Julio Caesar is there, Charles Sanford, Ryan Griffin, Richard Johnson, Jack Halleck, Zayden Davidson a lap down, and Dom Capps and Samuel England, the top 20. Fitzwater's got a run. Here comes Zachary Fitzwater to the inside of John Arndt. They had pulled a pretty big gap back to third place, but third placeman Bobby Jones is sitting there with a shot at a victory this afternoon. Remember, John Arndt has also never won a race. Further back, Alexander Rowe, Brandon Cresta, they have never won a crash in the back. Zayden Davidson has spun. Here's how it happened. Zayden Davidson made contact with somebody. Wow. Richard Johnson came across and sideswiped the 13, and Davidson was already a lap down, and no caution flag, because why would there be? Up front, John Arndt leads the way still, but Bobby Jones has closed that gap, and Jones goes to the lead. But as soon as that happens, Zachary Fitzwater and John Arndt get the draft to slingshot right by. This is really anybody's game. You may not want to take the white flag in the lead because you are a sitting duck when you're out front like Zachary Fitzwater. And DJ Curtis goes a lap down. He's been in some trouble somewhere. But to the inside, Bobby Jones trying to fight his way back. Ian Dutta's a lap down. Remember, Ian Dutta, DJ Curtis, they are a lap down. Eric DeMax is there in fourth. And battle for fifth, Dejon Weeks, the inside of Jeffrey Lynn. Caution flag is out. Samuel England has spun down the back straightaway because of this. Came across the 26 of Bradley Bishop Jr. and a pretty hard hit to the inside wall for England. And that's going to take him out of the race, possibly. He's going to try and take it back to the pits. Another replay of it. England had to get out of the gas a lot. Tried to throw a block on Bishop Jr. And one bad block is all it takes. And into the outside wall hard. However, the leaders are racing back to the start-finish line. They're trying to take the lead. Which one is going to take the lead for this race? Bobby Jones and Fitzwater. Jones is out of it. One of the best cars all day. Bobby Jones has crashed down in turn 3, racing back to the start-finish line. And Jones is out of this one. Here it is, racing back to the line. And Bobby Jones, similar issue. Fitzwater challenging back on the high side and was not going to lift. And Jones threw a bad block possibly and out of the running for the win this afternoon. Well, coming back to the restart, we will only have about 8 laps to go. Very importantly to note, some lap cars are lining up single file with these guys, but John Arndt, Alexander Rowe, and Brandon Cresta, they did not pit. Further back, you have to go all the way back to Hayden Klein, who did pit. Now, let's note this very importantly for everybody. Everyone that did pit did not get tires. Nobody got tires. I really don't know why nobody got tires, because tires are a big deal. Nobody has taken tires. However, whoa, Ian Dutta nearly cut off Brandon Cresta. Here comes Alexander Rowe to the inside. Now, can Rowe, Arndt, and Cresta make it to the finish on gas? Side by side for the lead between Arndt and Rowe. They have got to be tickled to death there, the Flying Fox Alliance. But man, this has been a crazy race, and you have so many drivers with a chance at possible victory that usually never have a chance, like Rowe, like Cresta. This is a big deal to them today. Hayden Klein's in the mix of that as well. He's on the inside there. Eric DeMax riding the high side. He's the first of the guys that did pit for gas, but he's racing Hayden Klein. John Art's coming to pit road. John Art has handed the lead over. John Art can't make it. Brandon Crasta has taken the race lead, and I am stunned at the performance by Roush Family Racing in this race, but he bobbles. Is he running out of gas? He just slowed a bunch on the back straightaway. Alexander Rowe in the 05, the last of the guys that stayed out. He's up front, but the lap cars of the 45, the 44, and the way. Hayden Klein, oh, is the 05 coming to the pit road? He is. Alexander Rowe's now to pit road. Brandon Crasta's to pit road. So staying out was not a good deal, and nearly contacting the tri-oval between Griffin and Jeff James. Unbelievable. Hayden Klein's your leader. Then is Jeffrey Lynn, Charles Sanford, Julio Caesar's up there, Dejon Weeks. Klein really stumbled there on the back straightaway. Getting off turn two, he really got loose. Lost a lot of momentum. Charles Sanford's moved up a place. He is into the lead, but Jeffrey Lynn, Dejon Weeks is there. Hayden Klein took the lead momentarily, but lost it. Here comes Charles Sanford. We haven't heard about him all day. Same really with Dejon Weeks. But Sanford for Red Bull Racing out of nowhere and into the lead. Here comes Eric DeMax. Here comes Halleck. Haven't talked about Halleck at all today. He was in the first crash, but Sanford bobbled as well. But the lap car of Ryan Acosta holds up Jeffrey Lynn, and that allows Charles Sanford to get back to the point and have a pretty good margin. Dejon Weeks is at a second. Sanford really struggling with the handling. Here comes Lynn to the inside. Jeffrey Lynn to the lead. Oh, but man, these Allen Family Racing Team drivers really holding up some of these guys. Jeffrey Lynn, he kind of won a race last weekend due to lap cars possibly. And man, are they paying him back here at Talladega. Lynn's up high. Here comes Eric DeMax, the Daytona 500 champion. Whoa, contact! The 2 and the 38 got together. Dejon Weeks' chance of a win possibly gone. Lap cars, front 3 are lap cars, but here comes Eric DeMax. DeMax, Sanford, Lynn, the front 3, they are challenging for the win, but Jeffrey Lynn got very loose off of turn 4. Coming to the line, it'll be 2 laps to go. Eric DeMax and Charles Sanford, mano a mano. 2 Toyotas going to battle for the win. Will it be the Rodriguez Racing driver of Eric DeMax, or will it be Red Bull Racing's Charles Sanford? Brandon Crasta, heartbreak of the day, really. Leaving pit road, he may be a factor, but DeMax trying to block Charles Sanford. A lap and a half to go. Whoa, DeMax blocks the 45. Oh, and Acosta really messing up the 10 car here. Charles Sanford to the inside. He is door to door, side by side for the lead. Coming to the white flag. Charles Sanford trying to bring Red Bull Racing back to the victory lane. Sanford is there to the inside. He has the preferred groove. Eric DeMax is going to have to get back in his trap. It's not over. Eric DeMax could have a chance at it. Brandon Crasta may hold up Sanford just enough. Further back, Jeffrey Lynn's in third, way too far back. DeMax is losing touch with the 5. And Charles Sanford, he's got a big lead over Eric DeMax. And off turn 4, no challenge. Charles Sanford and Red Bull Racing in their 9th race back. Caution flag is out, but Sanford brings Red Bull to victory lane. Red Bull Racing goes to victory lane in 2020, and Charles Sanford wins for the first time this season and gets his 19th career victory in the Sony Cup Series. Charles Sanford wins over Eric DeMax, and Sanford comes up alongside to congratulate Sanford on a hard-fought battle for the win. Oh my God. What a race. Charles Sanford and Red Bull Racing. Red Bull Racing gets another win on these big tracks. Sanford was there not at all. It was nowhere all day until the very end. That is typical Charles Sanford fashion to win a race the way he just did. Very quietly and methodically make his way up to the front and be there to win the race. Sanford wins over Eric DeMax, Jeffrey Lynn. He gets third. A big day for him. Ryan Griffin from nowhere at all today. He gets fourth. Jack Halleck was involved in the first crash of the day. He got fifth. Julio Caesar, in his debut in the Sony Cup Series, gets sixth place. Scott Roush, this is a home race for him. He missed out on the race at Richmond due to qualifying being rained out. But here at Talladega, big results for them. Seventh place and the highest finishing CM Racing driver. Luke Martin nowhere in the top 10. That is noteworthy. Vance Caldwell for Texan Motorsports, their first ever top 10. Big day for them. 8th place. 9th for Dejon Weeks. A solid day for an all-around terrible season in terms of finishing results. And Dom Capps gets Domination Racing, their first top 10 of the year. Wow. Unbelievable. Charles Sanford in Red Bull Racing. That you got to take him where you can. And Charles Sanford gets his 19th career Sony Cup Series victory. And it comes with Red Bull. Red Bull is back in Victory Circle for the first time since 2017 when Zachary Fitzwater did it at Sonoma. Welcome back to Victory Lane for Red Bull, and welcome back to Victory Lane again for Charles Sanford. Let's get you to our finishing results and standings after Talladega.